We have traveled a long road together. We have burned the boats, built in the silence, and learned to lead the pack. But as we stand here today, at the threshold of ultimate mastery, we must confront the final and most persistent enemy, the illusion of limits. Most of your life, you have been told what is possible. You were told by your teachers, your parents, and the media that there is a ceiling to your potential. They told you to be realistic. They told you that only a lucky few get to change the world. The architect of fate knows that reality is a hallucination. The walls you see around you, the economic systems, the social hierarchies, the physical limitations, are not made of stone. They are made of belief. Most people live their entire lives inside a mental cage, and the door isn't even locked. They are afraid to step out because they have been programmed to fear the unknown more than they hate their own mediocrity. To master your fate, you must become radically delusional. You must be willing to believe in a version of yourself that doesn't exist yet. You must be willing to see a world that hasn't been built yet. In America, we celebrate the disruptors. We celebrate the ones who looked at the horse and carriage and saw a car. We celebrate the ones who looked at a dark screen and saw the internet. These people weren't smarter than everyone else. They were just less obedient to the laws of reality.
Your potential is not a pool of water. It is an ocean. And the only thing stopping you from sailing across it is your own fear of the horizon. Stop asking, "Can I do this?" and start asking, "How will I do this?" The moment you remove the word impossible from your mind, the universe starts to rearrange itself to accommodate your will. This is the first law of the architect. Limits are a choice. As you ascend to this level, you will realize that your gifts are not for you. This is the paradox of greatness. Most people want success for the lifestyle. They want the toys, the travel, and the ego boost. But true greatness is a debt. If you have been given a high IQ, a strong body, a creative mind, or the discipline to win, you owe the world a return on that investment. The universe does not grant power to those who only want to serve themselves. It grants power to those who are willing to be instruments of evolution. Think about the great men and women of history. They didn't work 100 hours a week because they wanted a bigger bank account. They worked because they felt a divine pressure to bring something into the world that wasn't there before. They were debt-driven. The architect of fate asks, "What is the problem that I was born to solve? What is the vacuum in the world that only I can fill?" Your potential is not a pool of water. It is an ocean. And the only thing stopping you from sailing across it is your own fear of the horizon. Stop asking, "Can I do this?" and start asking, "How will I do this?" The moment you remove the word impossible from your mind, the universe starts to rearrange itself to accommodate your will. This is the first law of the architect. Limits are a choice. As you ascend to this level, you will realize that your gifts are not for you. This is the paradox of greatness. Most people want success for the lifestyle. They want the toys, the travel, and the ego boost. But true greatness is a debt. If you have been given a high IQ, a strong body, a creative mind, or the discipline to win, you owe the world a return on that investment. The universe does not grant power to those who only want to serve themselves. It grants power to those who are willing to be instruments of evolution. Think about the great men and women of history. They didn't work 100 hours a week because they wanted a bigger bank account. They worked because they felt a divine pressure to bring something into the world that wasn't there before. They were debt-driven. The architect of fate asks, what is the problem that I was born to solve? What is the vacuum in the world that only I can fill?
When you align your ambition with a higher purpose, you unlock a level of energy that is superhuman. You no longer need motivation. You are being pulled by the future. You become a channel for something much larger than yourself. This is why the vanguard we spoke of in the last episode is so powerful. Because the vanguard isn't fighting for their own glory. They are fighting for the standard. Stop being a consumer of life and start being a producer of destiny. Every breath you take that isn't dedicated to your mission is a waste of a miracle. You are here to create, to lead, and to expand the boundaries of what it means to be human. The debt must be paid, and the only currency the universe accepts is action. At the highest levels of fate building, logic is not enough. Logic is based on the past. It is a calculation of what has already happened. But fate is built on the future. To navigate the complexity of the 1%, you must develop high-level intuition. Intuition is not luck or magic. It is the ability of the subconscious mind to recognize patterns that the conscious mind is too slow to see. It is the gut feeling that tells you a deal is bad, even when the numbers look good. It is the whisper that tells you to pivot when everyone else is saying, stay the course. The average person suppresses their intuition because they want to be logical. They want to be safe. But the architect knows that certainty is the enemy of growth.
To sharpen your intuition, you must master the art of stillness. In our hyper-connected American world, we are constantly overstimulated. We have no mental margin. If your mind is constantly screaming with notifications and noise, you will never hear the whisper of your fate. You must spend time in silence. You must spend time in nature. You must learn to listen to the frequency of the universe. When you are still, you start to see the hidden moves of the game. You start to see opportunities before they manifest. You develop a prophetic clarity. You don't react to the market. You anticipate the market. You don't follow the trend. You are the trend. Trust your gut. It has been refined by thousands of years of your ancestors' survival. It knows more than your spreadsheet ever will. If it feels wrong, it is wrong. If it feels like the way, then walk it, even if you're walking alone. There is a monster that lives at the finish line of every great achievement. It is called self-sabotage. Most people are more afraid of success than they are of failure. Failure is familiar. Failure has excuses. But success is terrifying. Success means you have no more excuses. Success means the world is watching. Success means you have to maintain a level of excellence that most people can't fathom.
Time is the only resource that is truly non-renewable. But the architect doesn't just manage time. They practice the alchemy of time. Most people live in linear time, past, present, future. They are haunted by their past and anxious about their future. They are victims of the clock. The architect lives in deep time. Deep time is the realization that this moment is the only moment that has ever existed. The past is just a memory. The future is just an imagination. Everything you have ever achieved and everything you will ever become is happening right now. When you master deep time, you lose the desperation. You stop rushing. You realize that fast is not the same as effective. You move with a heavy presence that commands the room. In America, we have a hustle culture that worships speed. But speed without direction is just a crash waiting to happen. The architect moves with precision. One move from an architect is worth 1,000 moves from a hustler. You must also learn the law of compounding. Small, elite actions taken consistently over long periods of time create a time explosion. Most people overestimate what they can do in a year, but they vastly underestimate what they can do in a decade. Don't look for the quantum leap. Look for the unbreakable streak. A 10-year streak of discipline is a weapon that can destroy any obstacle. It creates a momentum that is unstoppable. It makes your success look like magic to the average person, but you know the truth. It was just the alchemy of time. Be patient with the results, but be ruthless with the minutes. Every hour is a block of marble. Are you carving a masterpiece, or are you just making dust? We have reached the end of the 10-episode journey. You have learned the code. You have built the spirit. You have claimed the throne. But there is one final step. To become an architect of fate, you must perform the final surrender. You must surrender yourself. As long as you are working for your name, your fame, and your comfort, you are limited by the size of your ego. But when you surrender your life to the mission, you become a myth. A myth is an idea that never dies. A myth is a standard that survives the grave. A myth is a story that inspires people centuries after the author is gone. Look at the world. It is a canvas waiting for your signature. It is a symphony waiting for your note. It is a war waiting for your leadership. The journey from mortal to myth is not about what you get, it's about what you leave behind.
The money will go to your heirs. The buildings will go to the city. But the energy you injected into the world, the courage you displayed, the integrity you maintained, the love you had for the truth, that is eternal. Stop playing small games. Stop caring about the opinions of small people. Stop wasting your life on small desires. You are an architect of fate. You are a child of the stars. You are a commander of reality. The master key is in your hand. The door is wide open. The universe is holding its breath, waiting to see what you will do. Don't let us down. Don't let your ancestors down. And for God's sake, don't let yourself down. The blueprint is finished. The foundation is set. Now, go build your destiny. I will see you in the stars. Stay unconquerable.